Hi everyone, this is Jacob with Oak Endurance. Today we have the anchored single leg sit-up. There are two variations, and this is a fun one because it's a good example of how you can have essentially the same exercise and do it in two different ways and get a very different result. The first variation we'll do on the ground, we are essentially doing a sit-up, but we're going to make it single leg. So you're going to put one leg under a dumbbell or something with weight. There's also sit-up benches you could do this on and do it essentially the same way. That might get closer to the next variation though, but just something to mention here. From here, the further out you go, the harder it's going to be. So if you're close in like this is going to be a little easier than if you're way out here like this, right? So, and I just demoed the exercise for you. Single leg sit up. I like to almost turn this into a bicycle crunch and pull the other leg forward as I do this. Some bonus work for you. I would do each side, obviously. This one is the single leg anchored sit up on the ground. The next variation is the single leg anchored sit up off a bench. Essentially, it's the same thing. When you go back, you're actually gonna stretch that whole anterior chain a little bit more. You can do this on a bench. Off the top of my head, I guess I don't know what else you would do it on. All right. Now, how are they different? Because of the positioning of the dumbbell and because of the positioning of the starting point of your femur and hip, in this ground version, you're going to hit more core. Think TVA, abdominal wall, rectus abdominis. Maybe get into the psoas, but it's going to be more core because the hip flexor is shortened. Hip flexor complex, I should say. In this variation, you're going to hit more hip flexor. So depending on, because the hip flexor is getting fully lengthened out here, right? Much more of a stretch. This hip flexor is just going to start that movement. In that, you start the movement and you're in the flex position already. So you're kind of taking the hip flexor out of it a bit. Give it a try. Fact check me if you want. But that's been my finding with it. So depending on what you're trying to do, if you're trying to hit more core, you could do it this way. If you're trying to hit more hip flexor and then some core, I would do it this way. Just, again, depends on what you want to do. But there's two variations for you. If you have any questions on the two anchored single leg sit-up variations, go ahead and reach out. This is Jacob with Oak Endurance. Thank you.